Alrighty, rock on everybody, rock on! And rock out with your cook out alright. Alright, so, hope you're rocking out with your cocks out. Don't show it to me, because that's nasty. But, it is what it is. But for all you ladies, you can show me your titties and all that other shit all the time. But we move on. Alright everybody, what's up? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Friday afternoon video, right here on the official Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down there inside of my goddamn pants, otherwise known as the description marks below. Show your love and support. We're bouncing around, getting close to 800 subscribers. Hopefully we'll get there by Memorial Day weekend, so got about a month to go before we hit Memorial Day weekend, the unofficial start of summer. So hopefully we'll get there in the next 4 weeks to about a month to go, like I said. And we'll go on from there. But make sure you hit that subscribe button down below on this channel and my other channels as well. Show your love and support. You can leave a comment on any of the videos on my respective channels, including this one. But don't leave stupid comments, please. Be respectful, or you're going to get sent to the shadow realm where Satan will eat your soul. And you'll be blocked. And if you don't like that, then go cry to your mama, bitch. And that's pretty much it. You don't like it? Tough shit. And we will pretty much move on with that. So, if you like the video, great. Leave a comment if you like about the topic at hand. And, you can ask me things, but, you know, not too personal because I'm not going to really answer much of that. But, in any case, leave a comment down below, but be respectful or you're going to get blocked. That's the way it is. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because you miss anything, you need to get slapped in the face because you're SOL. And you better know what that means by now. I think we've known all that for 15, 16 years. And if you don't know, look it up. And that's that. And for all our newbies out there, if you're just watching my channel for the very first time, well, welcome to the party, pal! We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, you grab yourself a cold one. This is Fruit Punch. You know, Mio Fruit Punch. But I did have the old trusty sponsor, Bipsy, before, but I finished it. But in any case, you sit back, relax, grab that cold one whenever you have, put your feet up and enjoy the show from wherever you're watching from. That's that. Sit back, relax, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. You like it? Great. You don't? Get out. Go to somebody else's channel. And if you don't like it, block me. Simple as that. I'm not perfect. I'm not God's greatest thing since sliced bread, but, you know, I got my flaws, but I always strive to be a good and better person every day I get a chance to. So, and that's that. But if you don't like me, then block me and move on. And if you have a problem with that, go see a doctor. Because you have a super obsession. And you need help with that. Seriously. Like, seriously! And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. Let me move on. Alright, it's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Something for the fucking weekend. Yeah, for all you Rebecca Black fans, if you don't like me singing that, too bad. But yeah, it is Friday, April the 25th, 2025, the final weekend of April. We are 5 days away from the end of April, and then we'll start that great month of May with those May flowers blooming. The weather's getting really nice. It's 70 degrees today. Gonna be that tomorrow here in the Northeast, but rain. Ugh. So tomorrow's gonna be a really shit day. And then Sunday's gonna be cold and windy. Not too cold, but windy. And then back up to 80 degrees on Wednesday, and then down again. That's the way the weather is in the Northeast, during the spring. Up, down, like my dick in your mom's ass. But, they get through it, that's why a lot of people, with their allergies, and, they get sick because of the weather. That's why, because it's like up, down, up, down, up, down. Bring up the winter jacket. No, take out the hoodie. Make up your mind, Mother Nature, you bitch. Seriously, it's insane. But hopefully, when we get to the summertime in late June, July, the dog days of August, hopefully it won't get too hot and humid. The 3 H's, hazy, hot, humid. Hopefully we don't get a lot of days of that, but, 90 degrees in the shade, I'm good there. I am good. But I can't stand the humidity, and all that other shit. But it is what it is, and that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hope everybody's having a great Friday. I hope you have a good weekend, wherever it may be. And if it does rain on the weekend, and you got plans on the weekend, if you're in the Northeast, try to do it maybe Saturday, but like I said, it's going to be windy as fuck. So, plan accordingly and have fun, wherever you may be doing. Got the Mets tonight in Washington against the Nationals. Should be a good game. Mets are red hot right now, 18-7, best record in baseball. 5 games up on those filthies. We'll see how the weekend goes with that series, and then they're back home on, I believe, Monday or Tuesday. Not Monday, I think, to start a quick 3-game series with the Diamondbacks of Arizona, and then back on the road for St. Louis, and they're going to travel to Arizona. So kind of like a home-and-home series with Arizona, but you got St. Louis in the middle. So, and yes, the Skanky series is coming up in 3 weeks. So, get ready, Skanky fans, for your ass raping. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. But we'll get there in 3 weeks. We got the NFL draft last night. Didn't really like the Jets pick. But, what are you gonna get at number, what number were they? Number 7. Then you get a great pick, but, Giants got, Abdul Carter. They've been looking at him, on the defensive, I believe it was on the defensive end. They've been looking, they were talking to him. They got him at number 3. Decent for the G-men. Then they, traded their number, I think it was the 23rd or 25th pick. They traded with the Texans, or what are you thinking? And they got some white boy, not white, well, he is white boy. Some douchebag quarterback that's not going to play. So, they get a quarterback, not that they need more quarterbacks! Oy, oy, oy. How many quarterbacks do you need? You got Tony Cutlets, now the emergency 3rd-string quarterback. And then you got this guy you got at number 25 as the emergency backup, the number 4 guy. Like I said, probably won't play. So, waste of a pick, in my eyes. You got Russell Wilson, probably be your starting quarterback. And then you got, Jameis Winston as your backup. Then you got Tony Cutlets, number 3. Too many quarterbacks! In my eyes. And Russell Wilson is washed up as it is. He's a washed up, garbage quarterback. His best days were on the Seahawks. Didn't even have a great season last year with the Steelers. Now you bring him back to the NFC to be on the Giants, and you think the Giants are going to go anywhere this year? Sorry, Vic DiBitetto, I have to be real. You think Jameis Winston, if Russell Wilson sucks, you think Jameis Winston is going to be the god? No. No. You better wait, Giants fans, you better wait till 2030 when Archie Manning is on the draft board. Not Archie Manning, one of the Manning guys. Not Eli, not Peyton, the other guy. I think there's like three young, there's another, Manning in the family. I think he's going to, in high school, he's in college now. I don't know what he is. Who cares? So, I mean, Giant fans are all like giddy, like, oh, we got a great draft. No. The first guy you got, okay, I'll give you that one, but the second guy, Like I said, how many quarterbacks do you need? And the Jets, not a great pick, but you gotta live with it. You know, it is what it is. They need a whole fucking team, and they have Justin Fields as a quarterback. Oh, it's hard being a Jet fan. I'm sorry, I'm a Jet fan. It's hard being a Jet fan right now. We got Steve Wilkes, the so-called guru from the Niners. Now he's he's taking over for the guru, Mr. Robert Saleh, the former head coach. Now he's going back to San Fran, hopefully making the Niners defense probably one of the best in the league again. I mean, we'll see this year. As far as the pick, Michael Williams, I think he's from Missouri. I mean, he's an edge guy, so he's kind of like a Nick Bosa type guy. Not Nick Bosa, but, because Bosa plays on the edge too. But, no, not the guy I think the Niners should have got. I mean, they do need some defensive help, especially in the secondary. Maybe we'll see what happens tonight in the second and third. I think the second, third, and fourth round are tonight, and then rounds 5 and 6 tomorrow, and then round 7 is Sunday, I believe. I don't know how it works, but we got the second round tonight, so we'll see what the Niners do in the second and third round. Hopefully get some offensive linemen! I'm serious, we need an offensive lineman like a god! I mean, the Niners' offensive line sucks. Besides Dominic Puny, and besides, in some ways, Trent Williams. But I don't know why McGivens is still on this fucking team. Why? Why is Jake Moody on the team? Why? You want him to miss 50 more field goals there, Kyle? I mean, seriously, why is he still on the team? Now you know why my voice gets really high, and when I rant about my favorite team, the Niners. How stupid Jed York and Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are. Dumb, sometimes. Moody is a garbage kicker. Oh yeah, he had some good kicks during the Super Bowl year. But last year he missed so many fucking field goals in crunch time, it pissed me off. And they were going to trade him, like, get him out, good. Then I hear later, oh, we're bringing him back. What? Why? Because you can't get anybody else? Seriously. Pisses me off. And McGivens is coming back, and he's a garbage offensive lineman. Garbage. I'm sorry, it's garbage. He is garbage. That's why the Niners' offensive line has been the worst in the league for like decades. Not decades, I should say, but the last 10 years that I've been a Niner fan. Horrible. So Jed York and John Lynch, second and third round, you better get some offensive linemen and get some good secondary help. Because if not, I don't give a fuck who we pick. Give Brock his goddamn money. There's been some substantial talk with Brock Purdy, which is good. Give him $53 million. They basically want to give him a Jared Goff contract, which they gave him, I think, 117. What was his contract? I think it was like $240 million, something like that. 117 of that was guaranteed money, so it was like 53 million guaranteed money. I know Brock wants 55. The Niners want to kind of, meet in the middle, like 50, 53, 54, around 50 to 52 million. I said give him $53 million, 6-year contract, $125 million guaranteed. Shut up. He's at the mandatory off-season workouts, which is good. Kittle wasn't there, and he's in his final year of his contract, but he's going to definitely get bagged from the Niners. Because, Kittle has to be a Niner for life. Brock Purdy, the same thing. Franchise them. He already lost Debo. I thought it was going to be a Niner for life. Obviously, I was wrong. But he had some great years with the Niners, not so much last year. I don't know what's going on with Ayuk. With Brandon Ayuk coming back from his torn ACL, PCL, MCL, MCI, I don't know. Who knows how he's going to play, and, coming off that really fucked up injury. CMC 23, McCaffrey. Hopefully, he's starting to become a beast. He's working out. He looks like a beast right now. He's ready. He's ready for revenge mode right now. I think the Niners are in revenge mode after a very disappointing season, 6-11. And we thought they were going to be reverse that, 11-6, go to the playoffs. Maybe we can run back to Super Bowl. But don't know about that. But their schedule is the easiest in the league. That's from what I heard. The official schedules come out May 14th. So a little over two and a half weeks away till the official schedules come out. So we'll see where the Niners play, and if they play overseas. I think they have an overseas game this year. Maybe they'll play on Thanksgiving. Maybe they'll play on Christmas. I don't know, but we got that. So we'll see what happens with the Giants, the Niners, and the Jets this weekend in the NFL draft. And whatever team you like, maybe you'll get somebody good. Cam Ward did go to the Titans, so they got another great quarterback. Like Marcus Mariota, right? Remember when the Titans had a great quarterback? Mm-hmm. Not anymore. But now they got Cam Ward from Miami, the U. So we'll see how the Titans do. I don't think Cam Ward's going to be anything special, but we'll see what happens with that. And all the great picks that were in the top 10. There were some good picks, some surprises though. There was some trades. Like I said, the Jaguars went up to number 2. Interesting. And they got I think they got a defensive end. Tony Khan wants to make his team great, but who knows with that. But all right, enough about the NFL draft and me ranting about the Niners for almost 18 and a half minutes now. But like I said, hope you have having a great day. Hope you have a great weekend, and enjoy some baseball. Watch the NFL draft if you want, and go out and have fun. That's that. All right. We got SmackDown coming up tonight. The SmackDown after Mania should be pretty damn good. Probably hear from Cody! MDKOA Cody, you bitch! We'll see what happens with that. We got our new United States champion, Jacob Fatu, Jacob be on the show, the new United States champion, and we'll see what Eli Drake has to say about that. We got a triple threat match tonight. DIY taking on the Street Profits and the Motor City Machine Guns. I don't know if that's for the title or it's just a triple threat match. No, it's TLC, I forgot. It is for the titles. It is a TLC match. When was the last time we saw a TLC match on SmackDown? Long time. But should be a banger tonight on your 3-hour cure-free insomnia. That's SmackDown. And, what else we got? We're gonna recap WrestleMania, all that other good stuff. Maybe recap what happened to Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. There has been rumors that Walter will face Pat McAfee at Backlash. Why? Don't know that. And then, we'll see what happens tonight on SmackDown. Should be a good show for all you great people out there. But speaking of Wrestlemania, and I talked for 20 minutes, but you're still watching, aren't you? I know you are. But in any case, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching right here on the Peter Joseph channel. I'm Peter Joseph, your tribal metal god of extreme. I'm a content creator talking about whatever the fuck I want. If you like it, great. You don't, get out. Simple as that. Alright, like I said, as the title below says, I've been really busy over the weekend, and pretty much last week with, gearing up for WrestleMania. So check out all my videos from last week. With Raw, NXT, before Mania, Dynamite, TNA, Ring of Honor, SmackDown. I did talk about Unbreakable. I did talk about Collision this past week, which was pretty good. I'll be doing Raw in a little bit, so I'm gonna try to catch up on Raw. I gotta do NXT. We'll talk about TNA, Ring of Honor tomorrow. Most likely tomorrow. We'll see what happens with that. And probably SmackDown as well tomorrow. So my videos are going to be a little bit late, so I apologize for that, because I've been sick, and pretty much I've been sick, and I've been pretty busy with work, but as the summer approaches, my schedule is going to be a little bit lighter as we get to June, and then pretty much July is my vacation, end of July, and then August I got a mini vacation. I'll be taking a weekend off. The weekend after SummerSlam, I'm going to be taking the weekend off. That Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I will not be back to that Monday. And then pretty much we're full steam ahead until the end of the year. But September's a little bit shaky right now, but we'll see what happens with that. But I am here, going to be here pretty much all through May, all through June, all through July, all through August, and then as we get to Labor Day weekend, we'll see what happens with all that. But stay with me, please, and hit that bell, so hopefully you'll get all the videos that come within the next few months, and that's pretty much it. Pretty much it for that. Alright, now, after almost 23 minutes of spiel, let's get to the video at hand. Alright, so like I said, let's talk about WrestleMania and my late WrestleMania thoughts, Justin. Thoughts. Alright, was WrestleMania great? No. Which night was better? I think night 2 was better. Which main event was better? I say, neither, but, the endings, the endings to night 1 and 2, I thought were kind of shitty. But, by no means was this the worst WrestleMania of all time. We all know that's 9 and 11. That, in my opinion, 9 and 11. But, there are others that are really bad, but 9 and 11 are the worst WrestleManias of all time, in my eyes. But, just saying. But, by no means was this a bad WrestleMania. Overall, I gave it 7.5 out of 10 stars. But it wasn't great. There were some surprises, some new champions, like I said, Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, that was predictable. So we had that. But let me, before I list all this shit, let's run down night 1, and then, we'll talk a little bit about it, and then we'll get to night 2, overall thoughts, and then, that's that. Alright, so night 1, which I gave 7.5 out of 10 stars, wasn't great, but still decent, had a couple of surprises here and there, but, what it is. Alright, so, first match out of the gate, Jey Uso winning the Raw World title, the World Heavyweight title over Walter. I thought that was predictable. We knew that was going to happen. Don't know what's going to happen with Jey, who his next opponent is. We did see on Raw, he had his celebration with Jimmy, and then Sami Zayn comes out. You know, they're on and off good friends. And if you notice on Raw, Sami was like looking at Jay while he was like, you know, cheating and everything. Sami's like, very suspect, Sami Zayn. So, we're all thinking, no, not Sami! I think Sami might turn again to the dark side and maybe get a little bit jealous that his best friend's the champ. Maybe try to get a world title shot and lose. But, we'll see what happens with that. But Jey Uso, they pulled the trigger with him. He was drunk at the fucking press conference. But the Yeet Man is the champ. Walter is pissed. I mean, if you didn't see Raw, what happened with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, he is mad. And he wants his rematch. I don't know if he's going to get it at Backlash. I mean, we'll see. I mean, there are rumors going around and pictures of Jey Uso and Logan Paul going at it at Backlash for the title. I mean, Logan Paul gets another title shot. Remember when he had that title shot at Crown Jewel against Roman? What happened to that? He lost. So you know Jey Uso has to beat Logan Paul. Because you really want to see Logan Paul as a world champ? I don't. I know Issa might, because, you know, she's Puerto Rican, and Logan Paul is sort of Puerto Rican, but it is what it is. That's that. Speaking of Issa, get well, Issa. I know you had a great week at Mania from pretty much Thursday all the way up till Tuesday. She just got back. She's back home, but she's a little bit sick, so probably going to be taking the rest of the weekend off to get better, and probably be back on Monday, live streaming for all our great people, and, you know, the tribal pup, the tribal dog, the OTD, Roman is, you know, he was a little bit sick himself with the, he was a little bit sick, but he's medically cleared. That's a great sign, especially for Issa's sake, but the tribal pup is okay, and now, hopefully, Issa will get better, and, should be back up on YouTube in the next few days, and that's, pretty much it. So, subscribe to Issa's channel, and that's that. But don't be if you're a fucking dick, don't subscribe. Because, you know, that's that. Issa's a good person, and she don't put up with that bullshit. So, that's that. Alright, let me move on. So, Jey Uso, the new World Heavyweight Champion. Happy about that. Alright, match number 2, we got the New Day win their 13th time World Tag Team Champions, beating War Machine, but War Machine looks like they're going to get a rematch, maybe a Backlash, so see what happens with that. So, nothing new. That was I kind of, you know, figured that the New Day were going to beat War Machine, because there's not that many tag teams on Raw anyway. So, we'll see what happens with that. But I'm pretty happy that the New Day got the belts. You know, Big E, not so much, but it is what it is. Alright, match number 3, Jade Cargill defeats Naomi. I thought that was pretty much obvious. Naomi did get injured in that match. I don't know how, but so we'll see what happens with that. Maybe Jade makes an appearance tonight. Maybe Naomi makes an appearance. Who knows? But Jade getting the win, pretty obvious. I think she's setting her sights on Bianca Belair. Maybe at SummerSlam. I mean, we'll have to see what happens with that as we move on. Alright, like I said, Jacob Fatu wins the nicest champion from Eli Drake. That's not an insult. That's a fact of life. Yeah! Well, good match. Jacob gets the win. Wins his second major title. well, his first singles title, because was technically the SmackDown Tag Team Champion with, I believe, with Solo Mibuki. But yeah, that. But his first major title, singles title, I should say. So maybe a rematch with Eli down the road. I mean, we'll have to see what happens with that. But Happy Jacob is the champ. He deserves it. Crowd went nuts for him. That's that. Alright, then we found out that Rey Mysterio, Booyaka Booyaka, we saw what happened on SmackDown in that six-man tag with the Creed brothers and Chad Gable. It was a game time, pretty much a game time decision, but Michael Cole announced that he is out. It was out of Mania for his match against El Grande Americano. So in Rey Mysterio's place, another Rey, first time ever at Mania, Rey Fenix taking on El Grande Americano. Was a decent match, but El Grande Americano uses some plate in his mask, and he beats Rey Fenix, which I think was pretty much evident, but obvious. So El Grande Americano, so Chad Gable gets the win over Rey Fenix, and we'll see what happens with that. Whenever Rey does come back, we'll probably get a mask versus mask match, maybe at Money in the Bank, maybe by SummerSlam. And then we all know when they take the mask off, it's Chad Gable. Yeah, my God, I can't believe it's him. You know that's going to happen on commentary. Like Pat McAfee and Bad News Wade Barrett will say something stupid like that. Where we get that? Alright, that was match number 5. Match number 6 for the SmackDown Women's Championship. We had, it's Tiffy time! Daddy! Daddy! What? I won a Mania! You saw it! I saw it, you look great. Yeah, I beat that horse race bitch like I said I was! I did it for you, Daddy! Yeah. That's right, Sunshine. You did it for me. Here's my credit card. Go buy Marcel a great suit. And you go buy something nice for yourself, too. Because you deserve it. Oh, thank you, Daddy. Alright, Tiffy Tiff taking on Charlotte Flair. Pretty physical match. Tiffy did chip a tooth, but got it fixed right away. I mean, those dentists at WWE and AEW, you know, I want to find out who those are. I'm going to get my tooth fixed. No, call me. Anyway, but physical match, Tiffy did get a little cut on her head, but, you know, I had Charlotte winning number 15. I thought it was pretty much obvious, but I had a little sliver of hope that Tiffy would shock the world and beat Charlotte, put her in a place, and that's what she did. Tiffy retains the title over Charlotte with the prettiest moonsault ever, retains the title. So we'll see what happens tonight with Tiffy Tiff, and gives Charlotte a rematch at Backlash. Maybe Charlotte wins a Backlash. I don't know. I hope not, but great that Tiffy beat Charlotte. Now, fans were loving it. I loved it. I kind of marked out. I was like, she won! I was shocked. Not too much shocked, but, you know. But glad that Charlotte got put in her place at WrestleMania. And Tiffy, I think Tiffy deserves a long reign. She's held it for almost over 100 days, which is pretty damn nice. But who knows how much longer that's going to be. But her winning at Mania makes me happy. Even though I picked Charlotte, so it is what it is. Alright, then we go to the main event. Seth freaking Rollins. That guy. Takes on CM Punk with the fake-ass fuck Wise Man. Walked him down, Living Color, played Punk out. I thought that was pretty damn nice. And our Tribal Chief, put up your ones, please, for our Tribal Chief, the OTC, Roman Reigns. Alright, very physical match. me being a Roman fan, I wanted Roman to win, but I said it in my predictions video and in my other videos, I had a feeling that Seth Rollins was going to win thanks to Paul Heyman, and I was right. Seth Rollins wins, beating Roman and Punk. Near the end of the match, all three men are down. Paul gets on the grabs a chair, and kind of indecisive about giving it to Punk or giving it to Roman. He gives it to the Punk, obviously. He gets in the ring, stays with Punk because it's a no DQ match. Because triple threat match rules, no DQ. So Punk's about to unload on Roman, and then Paul Heyman, with the heinous act, nut shot to Punk. Punk's like, what did you do that for? And Paul's like, you made me choose! You made me choose, you son of a bitch! And then we see Roman like, that's the wise man I know. I knew he was going to turn. I just knew he was going to do that. He didn't need Jannetty. Oh, so you thought, Roman, alright? So, nut shot to Punk. He, Roman gets up. And Seth Rollins is on the ropes. Paul's like, look, my tribal chief. Hit him in the back like he hit you last week. With the shield chair. So he gives the shield chair to Roman. Roman's about to load up the chair shot. Feels like WrestleMania 40 all over again. About to load up, and Paul, you son of a bitch, nut shot to Roman. I was like, yup, here we go. Nut shot to Roman, pretty much walks right to Seth, doesn't say a word, gives Seth the fucking chair, and Seth goes to town on Roman and Punk with chair shots. Stomp the Punk, and then he stomps Roman, goes for the cover, 1, 2, 3. Why did Roman have to get pinned? 2 years in a row, Roman gets pinned at Mania. Why? I can understand the Cody reference, but yes. 2 years in a row, Roman has been pinned? This does not sit well with me. God forbid he gets pinned at 42. Well, not at 42 yet, but it doesn't sit well with me. But anyway, I thought it was pretty much obvious that Seth and Paul Heyman were gonna unite. So Seth Rollins is the new Paul Heyman guy. And now, as we saw on Raw, Braun Breaker is the new Paul Heyman guy. I think that was pretty much obvious coming. Because there was some moments where Paul did talk to Braun, I think on NXT, when Braun was in NXT. He's like, you could be a Paul Heyman guy. I liked you. I like your family. The Steiners. Blah, 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 blah. So, now we have a kind of new, a lot of people like naming the faction, calling it Evolution 2.0. I don't think they're anywhere near Evolution. I mean, yeah, you could say Braun Breaker's like the Batista of the group. Seth's maybe the Triple H of the group. But then you need a Randy Orton type guy, and then a Ric Flair guy, which I guess will be Paul Heyman. He's not going to wrestle, but I don't even think it's Evolution 2.0. I think it's Dangerous Alliance 2.0. Remember that from WCW days. With the great people that were in that group. Missy Hyatt, anyone? Rick Rude, anyone? Undertaker, anyone? Mark Calloway before them. I think Bobby Eaton, was part of that group. When he turned. Kind of went away from the Midnight Express. There was a lot of people in the Dangerous Alliance. It was crazy. It didn't feel like the NWO, but whatever. But anyway, yeah, I think we're getting a new version of the Dangerous Alliance. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman, and there are rumors that Seth Rollins' hot wife, the man, Becky Lynch, might be the first, well, not the first, but the first Paul Heyman girl, even though the first Paul Heyman girl was Missy Hyatt. We forget that, WWE? A lot of people forgetting that. That you never watched WCW or the NWA in your lifetime because you were never born. Because I know when Becky joins, all the dumb fucks on Twitter, Becky, first Paul Heyman girl. I'm going to go on everybody's tweet and go, wrong! And I'll put up the fucking video. Missy Hyatt joins the Dangerous Alliance. Morons! I know the dweebs in the IWC are gonna go, Becky, first woman in the WWE, and first Paul Heyman girl. Commentary do the same fucking shit. Michael Cole. Becky is the first Paul Heyman girl. Wrong, Michael Cole. And you're around my age, a little bit older, and you should know that. Missy Hyatt is the first Paul Heyman girl. Dumb fuck. Even fucking Wade Barrett knows that. Joe Tessitore should definitely know that. Just saying, even Pat McAfee knows that. But no, in WWE, they don't go back to their juicy lore much. Oh, they'll mention New Japan. They'll mention like the Motor City Machine Guns, winning the New Japan tag team belts. They'll mention the Ring of Honor belts a little bit. Well, they did that with AJ Styles, not AJ Lee. AJ Styles, they mentioned his TNA things. Pentagon and Rey Fenix, they mentioned their TNA stuff. And New Japan. Oh, well, not so much New Japan, because I don't think they were ever in New Japan. But anyway, they mentioned, their TNA run. But in any case, we got that. But knowing WWE, when Becky does join, I'm not saying she might not, who knows. But if they do have a female member, most likely will be Becky. Because she did turn heel on Monday Night Raw, turning on Lyra Valkyria as they lost. They win the belts, and they lose it right back to Liv and Raquel Rodriguez. So they become 4-time Women's Tag Team Champions. Which made no sense of having Becky and Lyra even win the belts. And now Becky and Lyra are probably going to have a match at Backlash for the Women's Intercontinental title. Becky's going to win that. Get another title for Becky, She's won pretty much she won a ton of women's titles. She's now she won the NXT women's title. So pretty much she's technically, she's the women's tag team champion. Now she has to win the women's Intercontinental champion to, I assume, be a Grand Slam champion. She won Raw, won SmackDown, won NXT. Well, she's a Grand Slam champion because she won the tag team belts. There you go. So my assumption was wrong, but it is what it is. But yeah. So Seth Rollins beats Roman and Punk. So he's the new Paul Heyman guy. Braun Breaker joins as well. So a new Dangerous Alliance type group is now in effect on Monday Night Raw. And we'll see what happens tonight, if anything happens tonight with Paul Heyman. I doubt it, but let that. Alright, like I said, night 1, 7.5 out of 10 stars. Night 2, I thought was the better of the nights. I gave that 8 out of 10 stars. And let's talk about it for a little bit. Alright, we started with my third amazingly hot Asian wife. You love her so much. Well, I do. And that's Io Sky. She defended the Raw Women's title against Bianca Belair. She's Bianca Belair. She plays her hair. That's actually her hair. She's Bianca Belair. She came out with a Double Dutch team as an entrance. Her stepdaughter, which is Montez's daughter, came out in the entrance. I thought it was pretty nice. Mommy Rhea Ripley, nice little crown. I thought it was nice. So we had that. So they had a pretty good match, a very good match to start the show. I thought Bianca was going to win the title, and then they'd maybe get to that Bianca Jade thing, maybe at SummerSlam, but Io retains the title after lots of reversals and everything. Mommy tries for Riptide. Bianca got out of it, used her hair. Bam! Ow! Ugh, to Mommy. Then she hits just a KOD on Rhea Ripley, but you forgot about Io. Io goes to the top, hits the over the moonsault. 1, 2, 3. She retains her title. Her family from Japan was there. Loved it. So Io retains. Made me happy, even though I picked Bianca, but... So let's see what happens with Io. You know, there was that segment on Raw where, you know, Jade gets in Bianca's face. So, we have that. And then, Rhea Ripley comes out and kind of, like, pushes Bianca to the side. And, basically tells Io, I'm still coming for that belt. So, maybe another match with Mommy and Io. I think their 4th match. And, I mean, we'll see what happens with all that. But Io retains the women's title. Great match to open the show. Great match. Alright, match number 2. Drew McIntyre. Papucho, I should say. Oh, he came out in a great-looking Doom outfit. Because I think there's a new Doom game. Oh, it was great. He comes out, and Sin City Street Fight with Damian Priest, who, he came out, and Kerry King of Slayer! Fucking Slayer! Playing his theme song. I thought that was fucking epic. Hunter's bringing back metal, I'm telling you, I love it. But I heard something like Jim Johnston, who did all the epic theme songs back in the day. I heard Jim Johnston might be going to AEW. Why? Why? I mean, they got epic themes, sort of, but I'd rather keep Jim Johnston in WWE, but that's just me. But yeah, seeing Kerry King playing that electric twanger to Poppy Priest's epic theme song. Loved it. Match was brutal. Brutal match. They fought on the floor. Poppy tries for old school. Made famous by The Undertaker, the GOAT of all GOATs of the modern era. And Drew just like pushed him through 2 tables at ringside. And then he hits the Claymore. 1, 2, 3. Drew beats Poppy. So we'll see where Drew McIntyre goes from here. Probably sometime tonight. We'll find out. And that's that. Let me move on. Alright, match number 3. Fatal 4-way match for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker defending the title against Fiend Balor, Pentagon, Cero Miedo, and Dominic Guerrero, let's say. You know, Eddie's son. Great match. Getting to the end. Finn hits the coup de grace. I think it was on Braun. I think it was on Braun. And then out of nowhere, Dominic Guerrero, let's say, with the Eddie Guerrero, let's say, frog splash on Finn. I think it was on Finn. And he goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3, ready? New Intercontinental Champion Dominic Guerrero, let's say. Oh, yes! Eddie, what did you think of that? Your son, Eddie, is the Intercontinental Champion like you were. Oh, that's my son, ese pero. I am so proud of my son. You know, me and China, we had sex all night long because of our son, Dominic Guerrero. Wait. China did not give birth to Eddie. That was Angie. Eddie, China didn't give birth to Eddie. Okay, just minding you. Maybe But yeah. Eddie and China had tremendous sex after that. I don't want to know, but anyway. But Eddie is so proud of his son, Dom Dom. I picked Dom Dom to win the title. So. I told you! Dom Dom, the new Intercontinental Champion. I mean, we did see that a segment on Raw. Finn kind of like, congrats, Dom! So we'll see what happens with that. And the Judgment Day. And, well, they have gold around their sexy waist now, except for Finn and Gordito. And then JD McDumpfuck is back. So I like that. So Judgment Day is back at full strength. But I mean, well, Finn's a little bit suspect, so we have to see what happens with that. But Dom Dom, the new Intercontinental Champion, you gotta love it. A real guerrero. But I digress. Moving on. Alright, then we had the Randy Orton and his mountainous voice! Open challenge, Randy comes out. Your quads are thick, Randy! So he comes out for his open challenge. We all thought it might have been Malachi Black. We were thinking Rusev. Nope, he debuted on Raw. And just murdered people. It was great. But wasn't Malachi Black. We thought it was going to be Killer Kross. Oh no! Not Killer Kross. And they opened the doors on the ramp, which the ramp looked like shit. The whole stage looked like a fucking hotel. Like watching WrestleMania 25, what number it is. When they were in Orlando. Not 32, or 33 I should say. I think it was 24, 20, no, I think it was 24. I forget what number. But anyway, moving on. So they open the doors, and we see the silhouette of, and we start the music go, say his name, and he appears. Sing with me now, ladies and gentlemen. I believe in Joe Hendry. Alright, so Joe Hendry, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, defends the belt against Ethan Page this Sunday at Rebellion. I think he will retain. Hopefully, you don't want to see Ethan Page as the TNA champ. Because I sure don't. So we have that. We pretty much move on with that. But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, Joe Hendry comes out and gets beat in 3 minutes. Did I say 3 minutes? Yeah, yeah, Joe Hendry got a few moves in, then he turns around, does his signature pose, and then Randy out of nowhere with the Gilmore Cutter! Bang! 1, 2, 3, Orton pins Joe Hendry with the Gilmore Cutter. Obviously. It should have been Killer Kross, I'm just saying. Or Malachi Black. Or somebody else. But Orton gets the win. And then, he picks up Joe Hendry, they shake hands, and they celebrate. And then Randy with another Gilmore Cutter. Like, fuck you, get out of here. Alright, we get that. Speaking of AJ, I think I forgot to put AJ's match in. Oh no, I did. I had it. After Orton's match, we had Logan Small taking on the phenomenal and great hair, AJ Bad Hair Styles. Alright. I was hoping AJ would knock Logan Paul the fuck out. Nope. Killer Kross comes out. And near the end of the match, and Killer Kross has a pair of brass knuckles, gives it to AJ, and tells AJ, find your inner strength. And, wants AJ to, find himself, blah, blah, blah. He wants to help out, and AJ's like, I'm not doing this shit. Fuck you. Next thing you know, Logan Paul hits the pulverizer. 1, 2, 3. God damn it. Logan Paul wins at WrestleMania against AJ. Killer Kross not happy about it. I mean, if you saw what Killer Kross said after Mania, woo! He went off. Work, shoot, ladies and gentlemen. On that idiot Sam Roberts show with Megan Moore on, he went off. He was like, well, fuck Logan Paul. Fuck WWE. Should have been him at Mania, I agree. Then he basically says, hey, the dumb fuck in the truck, fuck you. I was like, oh shit. He's getting fired. But he's still in the company, so as far as I know. And Scarlett, you know. So it really should have been Killer Cross. Unless there's something we don't know. What's gonna happen with Killer Cross. I think he should just fucking leave. Get released again. Go. I don't even care where he goes. Goes back on the indie circuit. I don't know what. I wish he'd go back to TNA. Not that I don't know what they're gonna do with him. I mean, they'll keep him as Killer Cross again. And Scarlett will be Scarlett, so back to TNA they go, but he's working with WWE, so going back to TNA is a good thing. You're under Hunter, you're under Nick Khan man's watch. But do you want to work with Tony Khan? I mean, if Tony Khan got Killer Cross and Scarlett, I feel like it'd be Wardlow 2.0. And how did Wardlow go? Wardlow's still under contract with AEW. Go figure that one out. When's he coming back? I have no idea, because he's supposedly injured. I mean, Wardlow was like a bad experiment. If Tony Khan, you want to go, we're going to get Killer Cross and do that? Make Killer Cross a monster like Wardlow was when he first started? And then he got rebooted, and then you failed with that too? I think Killer Cross should go to MOW. That's what Japan. I don't know where else he can go besides the indie circuit. Not that he'll make great money, but, maybe he could go back to WrestlePro. There's an indie promotion here in New York that might love you. I'm just saying. I know a guy. You got a guy? I got a guy for you, Killer Cross. And he loves to talk to you. He'll love to talk to you. Get for the right price, of course. Same thing with Scarlett. I got a price for you. I digress. Anyway. Alright, so Logan Paul beats AJ Styles. Then we had, like I said, Becky! And Becky coming back to be Lyra's mystery partner. They win the tag team titles over, Liv and Raquel, but then as we saw on Raw, Becky turned on Lyra after Liv and Raquel regained the titles back for the fourth time. Why? I don't know. I don't even know why Liv and Raquel lost the belts at Mania just to win it right back on Raw. Quickest women's tag team, defense ever. I would just had Becky turn on Lyra at Mania. Not on the Raw after Mania, but just me. But like I said before, looks like they're lining up Lyra to lose the Women's Intercontinental title to Becky Lynch. And Becky might join up with Paul Heyman and her husband, Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, in Dangerous Alliance 2.0. But we get that. Then we get to the main event, ladies and gentlemen, for the Undisputed title. John Cena going after number 17 to break the record from Ric Flair and himself. Taking on Cody! MDK Cody, you bitch. Nothing great about the match. Cena came out in black and white, which I thought was great. Cody with that new mask, this big fucking mask, the mask and it opened up and showed his ugly face. Would have been better with the mask on. But anyway, I digress. Pretty good match, gets to the end, and the referee gets knocked out. Rep bump, of course. And then we see Travis Scott come out with his new hardcore belt. I'm like, okay, Travis Scott. Okay. He comes out, and you would think that he would get his receipt from Cody, not so much did, he's helping Cena, of course. And, he gets in the ring, he tries to hit Cody, Cody grabbed him, hit Crossroads, or sloppy Crossroads, kind of knocked him out, and then, and Cena grabbed the title, looked like he was about to hit Cody with the title. Cody blocks it, grabs the title, is like, "Oh, you motherfucker, what are you doing?" And Joe's like holding back, like, "Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me." Boom! Right in the nuts again. Kicked him right in the gonads. And he wakes up the ref. And Cena goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. 17-time World Heavyweight Champion, breaks Ric Flair's record. And Flair was at Mania. He did take a picture with Cena. He was all happy. He says his boy and everything. Right. But, I'm glad Cena did it as a heel. Because if he was still a face, I would have hated it. But the ending was shit. What I would have done right after Travis got hit with Crossroads. What I would have done, I think Cena should have got hit with Crossroads. Cody's trying to wake up the ref, and there we hear, "If you smell what the Rock is cooking," the Rock comes out, and Cody gets up, and he's, waiting for the Rock to come out. The Rock takes his time getting down to the ring, or he comes out from underneath the ring or from the crowd. Attacks Cody from behind, hits the Rock bottom, and he puts Cena on top of him. That would have been a greater ending than the ending we saw, with Cena kicking Cody in the balls, grabs the ref, 1, 2, 3. Or just have Travis Scott come out. And then freaking Rock goes, "Oh, I didn't need to be at Mania. I made the call to not be at Mania." And now for when I saw Joe Cronin's show today, I don't know if it's a misled title, but Dwayne wants the game Triple H to go bye-bye. I'm like, what? Nah, that's not gonna happen. But I think Night 2 would have been way better, and that main event would have been way better if The Rock would have been there. I think it was a bad decision by Dwayne to say, "You know what, I'm not gonna be there." So you mean to tell me for a whole fucking month, you turned Cena heel, right? You had this whole thing with Cody, making this decision, and Cody's like, "Fuck you, Rock!" And then you had to turn Cena heel to kind of bump up this feud, which, the build-up was shit, in my eyes. Because, for the first few weeks, they felt like they were protecting Cody and everything. Then Cody comes back, "Oh, great promos in the last couple weeks." Blah, blah, blah. And then you have this match, and the ending was shit. I mean, why wasn't Rock at the SmackDown before Mania like he was last year? Remember that? We remember that. Some of you. I don't get it, Rock. Why weren't you there? It would have been a way better ending if you would have came out and pretty much kicked Cody in the balls, could have gave him a rock bottom. Maybe have another member come out. Drew, there's rumors that Drew McIntyre could have been the new guy. Who knows? I don't know. But that ending sucks so bad. And I agree with a lot of people in the WC that ending was garbage. Shouldn't even have had Travis Scott come out. Should have Travis and The Rock come out. Travis gets beat up, and then The Rock hits the rock bottom, and then Cena goes for the cover, 1, 2, 3. That's what I would have done. But I'm not the booker. I'm just a schmuck from New York. A good-looking schmuck, not that other schmuck. Right, Jerry? How's your Braves doing, by the way? Ha! Fuck you. And fuck the Braves. Fuck their fans, too. But, yeah. Night 2, the endings of Night 1 and Night 2 were just... I mean, Night 1, yeah, it was predictable that Seth was gonna turn... Paul Heyman was gonna side with Seth Rollins. Obviously. But, yeah, the ending of Night 2 just didn't sit well with me at all. And Rock, you really have egg on your face, and you're a moron for basically pussing out of Mania. So I agree with a lot of people in the IWC that ending sucked. But as far as Mania goes, I do not agree that it's the worst Mania of all time. No. It wasn't great. Like I said, 7.5 out of 10 stars overall for Mania. I think Night 2 was better than Night 1, match-wise, wrestling-wise. But the ending, the Night 2 was garbage. But overall, 7.5 out of 10 stars for Mania. And now we're on the road to Backlash. We'll see what happens. We got some things going on. Cena maybe facing Orton. I thought that should have been way later. But Cena's last match is going to be in Saudi Arabia in October. I think Crown Jewel is going to be earlier this year. I don't know, but I mean, we'll see what happens with that, because he does have 27 dates left. So, for the next 5 months, we got Cena. He's going to be at Backlash. I assume he's going to be at Money in the Bank. Definitely going to be at SummerSlam. And, I don't know if he's going to be at War Games. And War Games, Survivor Series War Games, is going to be outside in San Diego, November the 30th. So I know a lot of people are going to go to San Diego for the last of the Big Four. It's in Petco Park where the Padres play, the second best team in the league. Sorry, Padre fans. But, yeah, so there you go. So WWE is going to be in France for Clash in Paris at the end of August. Back in Saudi Arabia for King and Queen of the Ring. I think it's coming up in June. Then I think they're going to be back in either late October or early November with Crown Jewel. I don't even know what number it is. 6 or 7. And there is talk. They're going to have a show in Mexico. I don't know when. I think it's in June. AEW's having Grand Slam Mexico, and then Hunter's like, oh, we're gonna have a pay-per-view or a show in Mexico, and we're not competing, right? Morons. But it is what it is, and that's pretty much it. So, like I said, WrestleMania 41 is in the books, and now we are pretty much 350. Saturday 365, 6 days. Alright, we are 359 days and counting. About around that 355, 359 mark. 359 official days till WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans. Third pay-per-view in New Orleans for WrestleMania. We had 30. What was the last one? 30? It was 30, I think it was 38. I think it was 37, no, not 37, 38, I think, was in New Orleans. We had another one. So I remember we had 2 WrestleManias in New Orleans. The first one was 30, I know that. I think the second one was 38. But I could be wrong. But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, WrestleMania's in the books, and like I said, 7.5 out of 10 stars, and that's pretty much it. Alright, that's my WrestleMania thoughts, late review, whatever you want to call it. But let me know what you guys thought of Mania, all the matches, all the chicanery that happened with the main events and other things, and that's pretty much it. So let me know what your thoughts about Mania 41 down below in the comments section, and that's pretty much it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have some, I'm going to go have my sensible lunch, and then I'm going to come back, do your official NXT, I'm going to do Raw first, because I got to get Raw before we get to SmackDown tonight. We're about 4 hours away from SmackDown, so I'm going to get that out of the way pretty quick. And then, hopefully, before SmackDown goes on the air, your NXT review, and, maybe later we'll talk about SmackDown, but we'll see what happens with that, how you feel. But most likely tomorrow we'll talk about SmackDown, we'll talk about TNA and Ring of Honor, Collision. It's going to be on around 8:30. Check your local listings for the time, because it's right after the playoffs for the NBA on TNT. And that's that. Then we have Rebellion on Sunday night on pay-per-view from LA, the Galen Arena. So I'll try to do some predictions for Rebellion, and then I'll do a review probably on Monday. So lots of videos coming your way this weekend, all through next week, so please hit that bell, because if you don't, you missed a shitload of good shit. And that's pretty much it. Alright, I'm going to go have my sensible lunch right now, and then we'll talk about Monday Night Raw, probably about another half hour to around an hour, and then we'll talk about NXT, and then get you ready for SmackDown. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, and until next time, if you are not down with that, well, I got 3 words for you, motherfuckers. Fuck you, man. That's it. You're not down with that, get out of here. And that's it. Alright guys, I'm out of here for good. Until next time.